Hello everyone, you welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinoxe Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Babli Jonathan. In our top stories: no bail for detained Ambazonian leaders Sisiku Ayoktabe and others. The hearing of their case today lasted for less than 5 minutes, and the request for bail by the lawyers was simply rejected. And the United Nations organization continue mounting pressure on the Cameroon government to provide lasting solutions to the deepening Anglophone crisis. Speaking to the press yesterday here in the economic capital, Douala, some officials of the United Nations organization lamented over the devastating and deadly consequences of the crisis, especially on women and children, and the corpses of 2 Nigerian seminarians are retrieved from a dam in the far north region of the Republic of Cameroon. They went missing since 4 days. Stay with us. The request for bail for detained leaders of the Ambazonian struggle, Sisiku Ayoktabe and others, has been rejected by the Central Court of Appeal. The request had been filed in by lawyers of the detained Anglophone strugglers who have been fighting for the restoration of the independence of the former Southern Cameroon. The hearing of that case today lasted for less than 5 minutes. Smanjikan Gebre has more.
It was a sudden group of the defense lawyers of the Ambazonian leader, Sisiku Ayoktabe, that left the High Court premises of Yaoundé Thursday. The court hearing that didn't last for 5 minutes wasn't in their favor.
The verdict that was issued by the High Court, that means that they have rejected our application, and we are going to file at the Supreme Court. I was not surprised. You have to be dreaming to think that you'll get justice in Cameroon. We don't have any hopes in any of the judicial system in Cameroon. We're just doing what we have to do.
The lawyers who have been requesting for the release of their clients, Sisiku Ayoktabe, and the 9 others who were whisked from Nigeria to Cameroon, now have to file an appeal to the Supreme Court, which is their last option. Barrister Fru John Saw says justice is far-fetched in Cameroon.
I cannot tell you, I'm not that naive to think that we will get any justice in Cameroon.
Sisiku Ayoktabe and co were, however, present during the court session. It was their second outing since they were kept behind bars in Cameroon.
Smanjikan Gebre reporting there on the case of Sisiku Ayoktabe and other detained leaders of the Ambazonia interim government who have been denied a bail. And now we talk in the same vein about the Anglophone crisis, with the United Nations organization mounting pressure on the government of the Republic of Cameroon to create necessary conditions favorable for the holding of a dialogue that is going to open the way out of the socio-political and security impasse rocking the northwest and the southwest regions of the Republic of Cameroon. Speaking to reporters yesterday here in the economic capital, Douala, some officials of the United Nations cast doubts on government's statements, notably indicating that the situation is gradually returning to normalcy. They, however, indicated that they are on the ground investigating and will tell the real situation on the ground sooner or later. They also indicated that the aid on the ground is hampered by lack of enough financial resources, as we hear in this report. The United Nations organization decries suffering inflicted on English-speaking Cameroonians and other persons living in the 2 Anglophone regions hit by crisis and other parts of the country affected by the socio-political impasse in the northwest and southwest regions. While the crisis deepens further, Officials of the World Organization say they have not gathered enough information on the ground that can enable them to make an accurate and global evaluation of the situation in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon.
We didn't do a district-to-district check to tell you how the situation is. But yes, the authorities also told us that they feel that security is coming back, and there's definitely an improvement on the situation than there was before. But we don't I don't have the information to say yes or no. What we do know is that even if there is an improvement, there's still a lot of people that are suffering from the consequences of what already happened, and I believe there's still victims today of the conflicts.
Speaking to the press in Douala, these United Nations officials highlighted the devastating and deadly consequences of the socio-political and security crisis on women and children.
We are aware of what the impact of the crisis has had on women, young women and children, and today we heard more stories that confirm that. But as you said, we already have colleagues on the ground working on this. So we have our colleagues from UN Women, our colleagues from UNFPA, but they're also working hand in hand with MINPROF. So MINPROF is also aware, and so they have also once again encouraged us to work around these issues. Today we also heard about the issue of mental health and how many people are traumatized having lived through these events, and how we've been encouraged to also look at the issue of mental health.
Efforts of United Nations organs to mitigate the impact of the crisis are hampered by financial constraints.
We definitely have programming around psychosocial support, both for women and children. So these are all areas we're looking at. But right now we have had limited funding. So that's one of the issues that we've also told all our partners as we met them today. We have not received as much funding as we wanted.
Like the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has done in different press statements, these officials of the United Nations organization are urging the Cameroon government to create favorable conditions for a meaningful dialogue in view of finding a way out of the crisis. And speaking to us on the Anglophone General Conference scheduled for the 21st and 22nd of this month in the Southwest Regional Capital, Buea, the United Nations Resident Coordinator Allegra Maria del Pilar Bauchi said that for that event to be successful, for it to yield concrete fruits in view of solving the Anglophone crisis, it must bring together all the voices and opinions of the population. Take a listen.
The UN has, and along with most of the international communities, has asked for dialogue and has encouraged dialogue. So if this is an initiative that will start dialogue and initiate dialogue, then yes, we're going to support it. But of course, to work, it needs to have the support of all the parties. So if it's done in isolation and it doesn't have the encouragement either of the government or of the secessionists, then it will not go very far. But as I said before, I think the voices of Cameroonians need to start being heard more beyond the politics. I think we need to hear the people talking. And I referred to the initiative of the women, because I think we need to hear the voice of the people saying we've had enough and we want solutions. It shouldn't only be the UN saying it or the ambassadors. We need confidence building measures. We need the population to trust the administration and to be able to go back. And I think we need peace. And if by peace, eventually we would want to see the demilitarization, because with peace we should be seeing less military on the ground and we should be seeing life going back to normal. So I think if we are, and when we met with the Minister of Defense, we actually asked about working on the confidence the population should have in those regions. They should be comfortable going back to their villages. They should be comfortable with relating to the authorities. So I think the government has a responsibility to rebuild that relationship.
And to ease work for the governor of the southwest region of the country, a region hit by crisis, President Paul Biya has given him a brand new vehicle. Governor Bernard Okaliabilai received a new vehicle today at the Ministry of Territorial Administration, handed to him by Minister Tanganji Paul. Besides him, all the other administrators in the 10 regions of the Republic Republic of Cameroon will equally receive brand new vehicles. The Minister of Territorial Administration, Atanganji Paul, indicated that the President of the Republic has put at the disposal of all administrators across the 10 regions of the country more than 50 vehicles to ease work across the country, even in the most difficult areas. Take a listen to Minister Atanganji Paul.
Solemnly, I have handed over symbolically the keys of this vehicle to the governor of the Southwest region. And I was just saying that it is an exceptional gift from His Excellency President Paul Biya. You know, he has always given administrative authorities assistance and support in their day-to-day undertakings. And I think that we were not expecting this. He has provided more than 50 vehicles to all administrative authorities in the 10 regions. So the governor of the Southwest province, who happens to he is here for a workshop. So I said, let me use this opportunity to give him the vehicles for his region. And I think I want to thank the head of state, because, you know, it's very difficult to work when you are not being accompanied by the state authorities. And since I came to the ministry, the head of state, I can say on a monthly basis, has given total support to all the administrative authorities, starting from what he gave them for the elections and many other things. And I think that the young administrative authorities will use these vehicles, I think, in a judicious manner. It's very important because they need these vehicles to work. You know that in the Northwest and Southwest regions, we are living in a difficult situation, even though things are under control. And I think the administrative authorities who will have these vehicles will do appreciate the efforts of the head of state. You know, with the difficult financial situation, it's not easy to do this, but the head of state said it is important for all our administrative authorities to have a means. You know, they have to go from left to right. They have their traditional doors. The DOs, the SDOs, the governors, they have to move from one division to the other, from one subdivision to the other, because they have to talk to the population and evaluate the situation on the field. So I think these vehicles, I think, will be a good booster for them to achieve their mission in a serene atmosphere. And I think on their behalf, I wish to thank the head of state, President Paul Biya, who most of the time has always responded positively when we have some problems. And this is another example, just after the elections, that all administrative authorities will work with all confidence, knowing that they are being backed by the government and by the head of state. Thank you.
Very important, you said it. Actually, one cannot go around if he does not have a car. I want to take the example of the GO of Boya, whose car was destroyed the day of the election, the 7th of October, by bullet from terrorists. I think it will be a very good news for him to know that the head of state has provided him a new car. And many other people, like the GO of Bijikumebalwe, the one of Wabane, the minister said it, we were not expecting to receive cars a few days after election. We have cars, we have new cars. I think it will boost the morale of those local authorities, and they will do more. They will do more. Particularly at this moment, they have to go around to sensitize the population, to talk to the population, and to do many other things. So we want to say thank. The word thank is not even strong to express our gratitude to the head of state, who always think about our condition, work condition, particularly at this moment in the Southwest and even in the Northwest region. So I want to thank you, the journalists, for all your support during the election, after the election, and I want to see the opportunity to say that we need your help. We need your help to sensitize the population, to tell those who are still in the bushes to come out, as the head of state said, because they must come. They are Cameroonian. We need them. Let them choose the good road. The road of the bush is not the good road. So thank you, and thank you again.
Cameroon's Minister of Territorial Administration Atanganji Paul and Southwest Governor Benau Kaliabilai speaking there. Onto something else now. The corpses of two Nigerian seminarians have been retrieved from a dam in Mokolo in the far north region of the country. The two drowned in unclear circumstances on the 11th of November 2018. For me, Armstrong Sander reports.
Lifeless bodies of Jean Bruno Nwachoku and Stanley Ongweme were found floating on the Mokolo Dam, Mayo-Chanaga Division, far north region of Cameroon, after going missing for 3 days. The two Nigerian princes went swimming on the 11th of November in the dam when they got drowned and their bodies missing. They were part of 12 Nigerian seminarians who came for a pastoral visit at the Orutata Oblate Immaculate Mothers.
Les frères ont crié à l'aide. J'étais de l'autre côté en train de faire le tour. Quand je suis monté voir ce qui s'est passé.
According to these inhabitants, he was attracted to the scene by the cries of other seminarians. Upon arrival, one of the two had disappeared in water. Another, in an attempt to rescue him, fell into the water and equally disappeared in a manner he qualifies as mysterious. A search was launched by the local population and the army rescue units in Mokolo, which proved abortive for 3 days before their bodies were found, lifeless and in a state of decomposition. The inhabitants, especially the Christian families in the Tada parish, are in shock and consternation after the great loss. The seminarians were in Cameroon for a training session which was never completed due to the untimely death. Locals say at least one person dies in the dam every year.
And personnel recruited to carry out the demographic and health survey of Cameroon. Those to work in the central region of the country are complaining that their activities on the ground are hampered by resistance, notably from young people who refuse to give information concerning their health status. It should be noted that the survey aims at testing and getting results on the statistics, notably concerning those persons infected by malaria, hypertension, diabetes, and other diseases. Innocent Azi has more.
Since its launch in the month of June 2018, the 5th Cameroon Demographic and Health Survey has witnessed rapid acceleration in the central region, though it is yet to attain its goal.
L'absence des populations.
The difficulties, according to Irene Fernand Evina, Regional Chief of the Center of the National Institute for Statistics, include the population's refusal to collaborate or participate, absence of the population because the survey began in the month of June when the targets were on holiday. Now they want to involve the population that was absent during the start of the survey.
À cause de certaines croyances.
It is in a bid to realize its goals that administrative, traditional, as well as local authorities were wooed in.
Je dirais quelques jours.
According to the central governor's representative, Emmanuel Jawar, in synergy, the activity will reap positive fruits.
Nous voulons que les autorités nous aident.
To Irene Fernand Evina, she hopes the government assists them by ensuring that the population see reasons to collaborate in the survey whose responses have not been encouraging. They wish to attain 100%.
Entre les 100% pour que les indicateurs soient robustes.
The Cameroon Demographic and Health Survey permits the government to dispose desiring aids necessary for good decision-making in the health domain. Everyone in the chain is expected to play their role such that the results of the 5th survey is realized. We are researching information on malaria, on the mother's health and that of children. We test the cell, blood for anemia, test for diabetes and hypertension. These aim at improving on health of the population. The survey results will be handed over to the Minister of Public Health,
qui va remettre ces indicateurs au ministère de la Santé.
The central governor represented has called for mobilization of efforts such that the survey becomes a success.
And officials here in the littoral region and personnel recruited for that exercise met today at the littoral governor's office in Bonanjo, Douala, to discuss challenges faced on the ground and strategies on how to meet the target of that exercise. That meeting was chaired by littoral Secretary General Kinu Nanatiri, and beside him were other officials in the region, notably mayors as well. Even the mayor of Douala 3, Job Teofil Kwabnan, and others were in that meeting discussing strategies on how to meet the target in the demographic and health survey of Cameroon. And of course, here's an extract of what the Secretary General of the Littoral Governor's Office, Kinu Nanatiri, told reporters shortly after that meeting. Take a listen.
A meeting aimed at remobilizing all the stakeholders who have been told to participate in one way or the other in order to make sure that this operation reaches its objective. It has been launched since June 2018, and up to now the percentage of coverage on the field is just 75%. It is true it is above the mean, but for statistical information it will be better to be at least close to 100%, if not up to 100%, but 90 and above. And since we are not reached up to 90%, so we are now remobilizing the actors. Also because there were some difficulties that were noted on the field, and this session of today was to give some advices and some guidelines to some of those actors, so that they should inform the field, so that they should bring all their neighbors to participate, really, so that this operation should reach its target.
We wrap up this newscast with this advertorial from the Community Credit Company, CCC, one of the outstanding microfinance institutions in the Republic of Cameroon. For me, I'm Armstrong Sanda.
The Bonakwa branch of Community Credit Company, PSC, in Douala, situated in Akwa, precisely along the Boulevard de la République, has reopened its doors in an ultra-modern, newly constructed building after the fire incident that ravaged the structure on the 29th of September 2018. To maintain the confidence of its more than 100,000 customers, the management of CCC has adopted a series of security measures.
The management and the board reacted very swiftly, and we have what you are seeing today, fire detectors now, that as soon as there's any kind of an incident, we will have those notifications, we will have alarm systems. In case of burglary, we have an array of security measures that we have put in place that we are sure that we cannot get into any embarrassing situation. And the customers are very much appreciative of the new renovations, and in fact the building that has totally changed.
The Community Credit Company Bonakwa has also reinforced insurance services to its customers, as it has always done, among other wonderful services.
At several levels, we have an insurance policy for the company.
We have one of the best software which is used by most of the bank in Cameroon. They call it a data bank, and it's a centralized system that enables customers to carry their operations in all of our 18 branches.
Customers attest to the unbeatable innovations and extraordinary services offered by the Community Credit Company.
The place has not been like this, but for today it's really shows some kind of improvement, and even with the quality of the services I got today, it was very, very impressive. I was very, very satisfied. They were very fast in their services. Well, it's like a new look, a new everything. So when I got in the reception, it was welcoming. Client here for the past 10 years. So I'm really, really satisfied with their services now. I will tell 1, 2, 3 and the whole world that come to CCC, you will get the highest quality service here.
With more than 20 years of experience in offering wonderful and rich financial services to its customers, Community Credit Company is consistent in innovative and improved services, especially with its dynamic, young and dedicated staff.
CCC offer banking services like many other financial institutions. We deal with civil servant, company workers, we finance projects, especially government projects and private sector. We finance individual projects, businesses, and we do a lot of financial activities that help the Cameroonian public to be able to improve their living standard. CCC is one of those institutions that have been visited several times by the Monetary Authority and the COBAC, COBAC and the Ministry of Finance. And in all their controls, they have given CCC a long tick.
The company has grown in leaps and bounds for over the years. Community Credit Company today boasts of 18 branches solidly planted in 6 regions of Cameroon, notably the Littoral region, the Northwest region, the Southwest region, the West region, the South region, and the Central region of Cameroon at the service of every Cameroonian. Community Credit Company plans to extend its services of salary payment, money transfer, financial support to small and medium-sized enterprises, and the creation of saving accounts across the 10 regions of Cameroon.
And that's it for this edition of the news. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. Goodbye.
The Bonakwanwa branch of